How y'all doing tonight? Let me bring you a little closer. There we go. So tonight we're gonna do things a little different. Tonight's gonna be kind of a vlog. I was gonna do like a live play, but I want to sleeve up some of the stuff that came in, and instead of you guys just watching me sleeve stuff, I'm gonna talk about stuff pertaining to board games as I sleeves. Sorry, my kid stuck stickers to me. Um, um, but first, man, let's get the music going. So we got some jams. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Got a guitar riff. Get a little comfortable. So tonight, if you saw my unboxing, you know that I got some Star Realms in, and uh, and so we're gonna be sleeving up Star Realms as I talk. Let me bring up some of my points as I so um I am not new to tabletop games. Okay. Uh I'm not new to tabletop games. I've been playing tabletop games since I was in, I don't know, elementary school. I don't know. I remember I remember being in like, I don't know, third, fourth, or fifth grade, and I remember I brought my set of dice to school. Um, anyway, so I am not new to tabletop games. But I primarily played role playing games. I started with like D third edition and went to Pathfinder, a little bit of fourth edition, so on and so forth. Um, I I dabbled in board games at one point, but I didn't go like super hard into them. My cousin really liked board games, and I played some with him, and I picked up a couple myself, but not like anything too crazy. But you know, I, it really didn't go anywhere. Um, and and so anyway, role playing games have been my jam for the longest time. Role playing games and Magic the Gathering, but I quit Magic the Gathering quite a long time ago. Um, and I cannot play it again because I spend way too much money, and and it is not good for me. So uh, I choose to play Star Realms instead. Um, that said, now I'm playing board games, and you know, even though I'm not new to tabletop games, I am new to getting into board games. Like I have been, and so I picked up a couple things that maybe other people that are just getting interested in board games would like to know. Um, so I thought I would share those things. Now, if you're a board game vet, you probably have known these things for a long time, or you have better ideas than these. That's great. Share those. Leave them in the comments below and be like, "Hey, dude, you're dumb," or "Hey, man, that's a great idea, but build on top of it by doing this." I'll read all of them. Okay. But so right now, um, I just want to share a tip, like a quick tip. Um, so it is really hard sometimes to get rid of like your board game boxes. Like, for instance, Star Realms. What I have right here is Frontiers. This box right here. Now, it came in here all nice like, but once you sleeve the cards, they don't fit in there um, great. They kind of get stuck, and then yeah, you got to go through all this jazz to get them back out. And I'm sure if I tried to put the whole stack of sleeved cards in there, it's not going to fit. For example, that's just half of them. That's not going to fit back in that box. So, Star Realms Frontier is going to go into its own white count box. That means that this box is empty. Now, you got two choices. You can chuck it or you can keep it, right? And chucking it feels a little weird because you're like, oh, maybe I'll need it, you know. But then keeping it, now you have a bunch of empty boxes, right? And I ran into the same trouble with Kinfire Delve. Kinfire Delve has beautiful boxes. Beautiful boxes. Look at these. But when I sleeved the cards, they didn't fit in the boxes. They didn't fit in the trays really, and then they were like loose in the box unless I put them in a bag, and then I really had to scrunch them in the bag. I didn't want to do that, so I put those in white count boxes as well. But then that leaves that this box, this pretty box, is empty, and I got those two choices: chuck it or keep it. Now, if I'm going to keep it, it's got to do something. I can't just keep a box because I want to keep a box, no matter how pretty the box might be. So I repurposed the box. So if you're running into this issue where once you sleeve cards or whatever, they don't fit back into the original box, and you find a new storage solution, and now the original box is just extra, and you don't know if you should chuck it or not. I use it to keep my extra sleeves. So there's three. So store extra black ones in there. Let's see. Extra black ones. And then in Vainglory's Grotto, I keep all my like weird size sleeves. So these are like super miniature sleeves or really big sleeves or just kind of odd shapes and sizes that you'll find in board games. So that's how I have repurposed those boxes to justify keeping those rather than just chucking them. Because I don't want to just keep boxes around. I don't. No matter how pretty they are or what game they go to, I only have so much space. But if I can repurpose them to justify keeping them, that's awesome. So that's my first tip: is if after sleeving cards or whatnot, the original boxes are no longer in use, either repurpose them or chuck them. Now you might say, well, what if you just don't sleeve your cards? Well, you can choose to do that. You can choose not to sleeve your cards, and that's a perfectly legit option. But I sleeve my cards, and especially a game like Star Realms, because it's all cards, it's all card play, and the cards are going to get shuffled, they're going to get handled. I strongly suggest sleeving um, games with that much play on the cards. Um, but I mean that's completely up to you. Uh, if you don't sleeve your cards, well then they should fit in the original box just fine. Um, but I sleeve my cards because I don't want bad stuff to happen to them. Um, and then that would just kind of wreck my day if some cards got all uh, jammed up. But anyway, so that's the first tip. Um, my second tip for maybe people that are entering the board game hobby and and would like a little bit of information. Uh, let's see. Sorry, I wrote them all down. I would say, there is a lot of like review videos out there, a lot of list videos, 20 of the best solo games, 100 of the best games of all time, blah 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 blah. Those list videos are okay if you're like really looking for a new game, but don't watch too many of them, especially if you already have a lot of games or have a good selection of games, because all that's going to do is like pump you up to buy more. And um, there's a fine line between collecting and being and playing. I mean, you're either playing your board games or you're just buying and collecting. And if you're watching nothing but list videos, I bet you're going to end up uh, buying and collecting a lot more than you're going to be playing, because those list videos, they they don't push you, but they like um, they kind of like you'll watch it and then you're like, oh man, I really need that game. And then you jump on Amazon or you jump on eBay or jump on Walmart.com, and you buy a new game when you got 15 on the shelf, or 115 on the shelf, whatever. Um, so you know, watch out watching list videos. I mean, unless you're looking like really looking for a new game, you know, list videos I would kind of avoid. Um, Next, the review videos, I'd say take them all with a grain of salt, because um, at the very least, they're just one person's opinion. Okay, a review is just one person's opinion of a game, and if they, like me, I get games sent to me from publishers and stuff, and that can color my opinion. You try not to, but it does. There is a little bit of bias. When a publisher sends you a game, you try not, and and even if publisher doesn't send you a game, you try not to seriously really go out of your way to be mean towards a game. Um, unless there's like a super reason to do that, because um, somebody took the time to design this game and get the art and get it to market and everything. You don't want to totally like rain on their parade. Um, you want to say like, hey, I didn't enjoy this game or whatever, but you don't want to totally dump on it. Um, So reviews, remember, they're opinions, and they're just that. So take them with a grain of salt. Um, can you get some ideas from reviews? Sure, absolutely. Maybe they talk about a mechanic that you like or you don't like, and you didn't know was in the game. There you go. Hey, great, wonderful. But like I said, for the most part, reviews are opinions. And so take that with a grain of salt. Um, which brings me to the main point of what I'm trying to say. Watch playthrough videos more than anything. Watch playthrough videos of games that you want to get or that you're thinking about getting. And the playthrough videos will show you more about the game um, than than a review video will, because a playthrough video will show you how the game actually works, what it looks like on the table, and how it actually plays out. Now you won't really know if it's your type of fun until you actually get to try it out. But you know you might be watching that playthrough and you'll see something in it and you're like, no, that's not for me. Or oh man, I really like that idea. Oh man, now I'm really jazzed about this game. Or man, that turn took forever. You know, you get to see how the game plays, and to me, that's much more valuable than just some random guy on the internet giving you their opinion, or gal on the internet giving you their opinion. Um, so so yeah, watch playthrough videos more than you watch the other videos. You dig what I'm saying? Um, Hold on one second. I'm done sleeving up Frontiers. Oh no! My hands don't want to work. Alright. So that's Frontiers all sleeved. Let's try to get it in the box somewhat nice here. And so this is like the, what is it? I think a 350 count box, right? And I just put Star Realms Frontier in here. And here's the, oh my goodness, I can't pick them up. I had extra large card sleeves that I threw on the boss cards. So I do have card sleeves on them. They're a little big, but they're at least protected. And so this card box is a pretty good size because the cards pretty much fit in there without too much extra room. I might have to put a little bit of spacer in there, and then I can throw those right on top, rule book right on top, and then close her up. And oh no, sure. Now she doesn't want to close for me. Right. Well, so one of the things you can do if your white box is like full to the brim, or it's going to have a rule book in it that goes to the edges, you cut these flaps off and then you can just close it like that. I'll just have to cut those off. It's no biggie. Okay. So, where was I? Playthrough videos. Yeah. So watch playthrough videos. They're going to tell you more about a game than review videos will. This is Star Realms Colony, of the Colony expansion. So, and then the other videos to watch are unboxing videos. Not to get you hyped to buy a game, but I gotta stop shaking my leg. It shakes the whole thing. Oops. Sorry about that. Sorry. That probably sounded gross on camera. Don't watch unboxing videos to like get hyped to buy a game. Watch unboxing videos to get an idea of what the components look like. You know, if the art is nice or whatever, and if you care about art, you know, if the art interests you, and if the components look cool and stuff like that, and to find out what comes in the box. You know, because it might. I gotta stop getting off camera. It got to, you know, it's nice to know what comes in the actual box, because there are some games that are hot right now that if you just buy like the main box, you'd be surprised what doesn't come in it. Like, I don't have this game, but look up Final Girl. Like you buy the main box, and you don't even have enough to play. You gotta buy one of the um the other kits to go with the main box. So it's good to watch unboxing videos. Playthrough videos are the best. Unboxing videos are next, and then your review or list videos on occasion. So yeah, that's my tip. Watch playthrough videos most, unboxing videos second most, and then the rest of them take with a grain of salt. Let's see. Next tip. Uh, and kind of jumping off the list videos and all that. You don't need to buy every board game. I mean, unless you're independently wealthy and that's what you choose to do, hey buddy, go for it. But you do not need to buy every board game. I don't buy every board game, and publishers don't send me every board game. Uh, Nor do I want every board game. Because I don't want a stack of games like taking up so much room and like I don't play them. And I already have, like a shelf of shame, that I'm going to be working through. Um because when I got into the hobby, I did pretty much what everybody else does, and I went on like this buying spree, you know what I mean? And now I realize like probably wasn't the best thing. I got a lot of cool games, don't get me wrong, but um have I got them to the table yet? Nope. And realize like with every game that you get, if you want to keep it around, I mean, I'm not talking about the games that like you play and you realize, hey, this game's not for me, but if it's a game that you want to keep around, um there's going to be additional costs. Like I want to keep Star Realms around. So what's the additional cost? Sleeves, deck boxes, okay? And that's on top of the cost of the game. I have Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion over there. I haven't played it yet, but I bought just some extra things to keep it more organized in the box. That was an extra cost. I also ordered off Noble Knight Games the replayability stickers or whatever, so I can play it over and over again. And that was an additional cost. So keep that in mind that the games that you decide to keep are going to have an additional cost to them. Um, I mean, if you want to keep them nice and maybe you want to upgrade them a little bit. If you don't care, then you don't care. Um, it is what it is. But I like to keep my stuff nice, especially if I want to keep it around. Um, Even if I don't keep it around, I ordered this set of Star Realms, and it came with Frontiers, and it came with Colony Wars, but it also came with the core game. I already had a set of the core game. I had it in a commander deck box, and I had it fully sleeved. Um, I don't need two copies of the core game. So once I knew that I had another copy coming in, I took that deck box with the core game in it that's fully sleeved, and I gave it to my buddy. And we've been playing it on our lunch, and it has been super fun. So that was an awesome move. Just for us to have great fun with, and now he has a copy, um, and I have another copy. Um, I don't need two copies. Um, you know. Um, but it's great because now he has a copy and it's all sleeved up. It's got a box that it fits in, everything. It's nice. Um, and and he's sort of getting into he's a role player. He's my buddy in my online role playing game, and he's getting a little bit into board games and card games. He's more of a video gamer and role player, and that's cool. But he did order what is it, Fallout Power Play from Modifius that's coming out here soon. Um, and so I gave him some suggestions on sleeves. These are the sleeves that I go with because they're good and cheap. Um, uh, for I did go Dragon Shields on one of the games that you guys are going to see coming up later. But um, it's not necessary to go Dragon Shields. They're nice. Don't get me wrong. They're nice, but these ones I got off Amazon. I think they were like, what was it? I think like 300 for $10. So yeah, I gave him sleeve recommendations for when his Power Play game comes in. Um, if penny sleeves are more in your budget range, that's cool, man. Protect your game. If you can afford something better than penny sleeves, I would recommend it. Penny sleeves like tend to stick after you like shuffle them a couple times, but like I said, man, you gotta stay in the budget. Um, so whatever you gotta do to stay in budget and protect your game. That way you can play it for as long as possible. Um, so so yeah, you don't need to buy every board game. And then that frees you up so that the board games that you have that you really enjoy, you can um, buy extras for them and take care of them and upgrade them. You know. Um, so that's that tip. Uh, uh, where to get games? Well, I mean that depends on if you want new or if you're cool with used games. I'm cool with used games. You may not be, but I am cool with used games, and so I'll hit a thrift store, I'll hit Goodwill, I'll hit eBay, and I'll find used games at a good price. I'll do make an offer, you know. These were this whole Star Realm set that I got today. That was brand new in package. I did make an offer on it. I got it at an excellent price. Happened to be brand new, but even if it was used, I still would have got it. Um, Phenomenal price. Uh, so yeah, if you're cool with used games, Goodwill, thrift stores. I got a copy of uh Marvel Munchkin from a thrift store, right? And I popped it open in my car after I bought it, just to check to see if all the cards were there. And I saw that somebody had put um, an expansion in the box, in the core game box. And I was like, oh, cool. So I got the core game and I got an expansion. Sweet. And I looked up the core game online. The core game was like $20. I was like, cool. I bought it for like 5. And then I looked up the expansion that somebody had stuck in that core box, and the expansion was going for like $100. And I was like, what? Um, I ended up turning around and selling the expansion, I don't know, like 40, $50 or whatever, because I didn't need the expansion. Um, but you know, that was just because I was cool with a used copy, and I cracked it open, and there was some gold inside. You dig what I'm saying? It doesn't. I mean, that's only happened once. So I'm not saying like, hey, go to the thrift store and you're always going to find something that's super valuable and blah 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 blah, and you're going to make a win. Not always. Shoot. I went to Goodwill today and I didn't find anything. Um, and sometimes, and you got to be careful because sometimes thrift stores and Goodwills and whatnot, there's components missing out of their board games. So you really got to be careful too. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't pay too high of a price unless you are able to check all the components before you leave. Um, but uh, you know, other than that, there's Noble Knight Games, of course there's eBay, there's Amazon, and then there's your local game stores, and believe it or not, comic stores. Check your area for comic stores because um, I found some good board games. I think the best board game selection I found near me is at a comic shop. It's called Dork Forest Comics in Clifton Springs, New York, and they are the closest shop to me with a great selection of board games. They're all new, and and I mean he's got big box games down to small box games. Really good stuff. Um, if I want to go further, I can go to Rochester, and Rochester has a really big game store called Millennium Games, and Millennium Games has, of course, tons of board games, and they also have a used games wall, so you can get used games. Um, Most of them are at a great price. There's some that are still a little pricey, but that's because they're like Kickstarter exclusives included and all this. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Um, but so so this tip boils down to, uh, you know, if you're down with used games, you can get games cheap from thrift stores or Goodwill or eBay. Make an offer. If you want them new, you know, Amazon I think is the best price, and then also your friendly local game store. Um, like I said, I enjoy going to Dork Forest Comics in Clifton Springs and Millennium Games in Rochester, New York. I don't get out that way too often, but those are the two places that I enjoy to go. There is Mystify Games a little closer to me at the Waterloo Outlet Mall, but they don't carry too many board games. But I mean, if I want card sleeves or something, I could probably go there. Dice, they have dice as well. Um, but I think Dork Forest is the closest one to me with like a pretty good board game selection. Um, all right, so that was the tip on where to find some used games and some new games. Um, I would say uh, next one is play a game 3 times before you have a concrete opinion of it. Okay. Because the first time you play it is going to be super choppy because you're learning the rules. Okay, super choppy. The second time you play it is going to be a little smoother, but you're still going to be looking stuff up. And then the third time you play it, you're still going to be looking a couple things up. But the third time you should have enough, well, depending upon the complexity of the rules. Okay. But usually by the third time, um, you'll have enough of a grip on it that you can start to see some of the strategies and some of the cool things in the game. Um, Take Star Realms for example. Your first play or your first playthrough, you might be just learning how to spend your buy and how to attack, and your second time playing, um, you might be um focusing on like one color or maybe two colors, you know, and then your third time playing, you're starting to see strategies and starting to use the colors better, and and so you get a little taste of what the game can do um, by that third time play. Uh, but yeah, there's times, I played a game the first time and it's like, man, I don't like this. But really, what it was the play was so choppy because I was learning the rules. And then after I uh, I got a couple more plays under my belt, then I was like, oh, okay, I see how this game works. I see the strategies, and well, not all of them, but I see some of the strategies and some of the cool things this game has going for it. I like it more than I initially thought. So yeah, um, keep that in mind. We gotta crack another pack of sleeves, man. Whew. These sleeves are they're on Amazon. I think they're like 300 for like $10 or something like that. So yeah, they're not like top of the line or anything, but I like them, and they got the textured back. Um, but uh, they do everything I need them to do. Let's put it that way. Um, so at least 3 sessions. You know what I mean? Because you're learning the rules. The second one's going to be a little bit better, but you're still pretty rules focused. Um, but that third one, I mean, you're still going to be, stumbling over the rules, but you're going to be able to see a little more flavor of the game, a little more strategy of the game, and that can kind of let you know what it's going to be like up ahead. Um, let's see, any other tips, tricks? Um, I don't know, find good board game YouTubers, and they have great suggestions. But like I said, we'll just watch out for those list videos, because I mean, you can spend a whole day watching list videos, and then at the end of the day, your Amazon cart's going to be so bloated because you're going to be so hyped about this game and that game and that game and this game because it showed up on 15 people's lists, and they had all these great things to say about it. Chill out. Chill out. You know, really think about what kind of game you want and what kind of play experience you want, and watch some playthroughs. See if that game gives you that experience, or not. And another thing to keep in mind is be realistic with yourself about games. I mean, one, what you can afford. Two, um, your player count. If you know that you can never get people over, then you're probably looking at solo games, homie. Um, it would be useless for me to look at an 8-player game. I never have 8 people over. I wouldn't want 8 people over. Um, Not that I don't like people. I have people I love in my life, and I have a couple good friends. But I just don't have enough um, times where I would have 8 people over to justify the expense of buying a board game that you know is meant to be played with 8 people. Forget that noise. Um, so then it just sits on the shelf. Oh, thanks. Um, yeah. So I mean, be realistic. But anyway, and I'm not saying anything. I'm pretty sure that I've heard some of these tips on other people's YouTube. So uh, if I stole anything from you, I'm sorry. Um, I will give credit to for this next one. This one is pretty genius. I was thinking about leaving it out, but it's from Bored with Steve. He has what's called the rule of three. He says play a game at least 3 times before you buy another game. That's good. That's good. That slows you down a little bit. So, because I got Star Realms, I should play Star Realms at least 3 times before I buy another game. Um, I don't plan on buying another game right now anyway. But, I mean, I say that, but I also check for deals. I'll be honest, I also check for deals. So, I say that, but that doesn't mean tomorrow I won't find something super cheap and I'm like, oh man, I gotta pull the trigger on that. You know what I mean? So, there's Colony Wars, all sleeved up. Boom, boom. Oops, got that backwards. Um, but like, remember how I was saying extra costs? This commander deck box that I just put Star Realms Colony Wars in. I think it was $10 on Amazon. Has a life counter on the top. How cool is that? But I'm gonna be playing Colony Wars with a friend. So I got a little tray and I ordered these 3D printed life trackers. You know what I mean? They were only like $6 or something like that for the two of them, 5-6 bucks. But once again, that's another cost. You know what I mean? So on top of the cost for Colony Wars, there's $10 for the deck box, and then there's the money for the sleeves, and then there's the money for the life counters. You know what I mean? You don't have to do those things, but if you're gonna keep it and you want to, if it's a game that's gonna stay in your collection, I don't like calling it my collection. I like calling it like my library of games or something like that. Um, but if it's a game that's going to stay in your library of games, then you might want to upgrade it. You might want to buy something to keep it in, or something nice, or some add-ons. You know what I mean? So just keep in mind that instead of buying a new game, you could be upgrading or adding on to a game that you already have. And it might make it more enjoyable for you to get to the table. Might be even easier for you to get to the table. Um, might keep it all nice and organized for you. Um, I have a this is not a real Black Lotus, obviously. Um, but two, this is a just a proxy that I found on Etsy. But growing up playing Magic the Gathering, I always wanted a Black Lotus. Who doesn't? Um, I never got one, but I saw this one on Etsy for like $6, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a Black Lotus. I don't play with it. I don't pass it off as real. It obviously is not real. I don't play Magic, so I don't use it in a deck. I just use it as decoration for my deck box. I know, kind of weird that I have a Black Lotus on a deck box that holds Star Realms, but whatever. Don't judge me. It's my deck box. Um, I just think it looks pretty cool, and I always wanted a Black Lotus. And even though it's a fake one, even though it's a proxy, I still think it looks pretty. Um, anyway, I think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you for listening to me kind of gab on. I hope that some of these tips might help you if you're new to board games. I'm still new to board games, but these are some of the things that I'm learning, and I just wanted to share them with you. And I highly recommend Star Realms. Check it out; it might be your jam. Um, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Campfire Delve and Star Realms on the channel. Uh, those are going to be the games that I play. I do playthroughs on the channel while I learn other games like Woodcraft and some of the bigger box games that I have over there on my shelf of shame. Um, so, anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. Days are hard, and a lot of craziness in the world, and games can can, if we play them alone, they can just give us a bit of reprieve, give us a moment to ourselves so that we can kind of just step away from all the stuff going on in the world, and and just kind of enjoy ourselves for a little bit, and then step back into the world and handle it. Um, if we play games with other people, it's a social event. We're getting together with other people, probably friends, unless you're like playing at a shop, where you might be playing with strangers. But if you're playing at your house and you have like a game night with friends, you know, you're deepening these relationships, and the game is really not what's important. It's that the game is the catalyst for you guys coming together and having a good time together, and deepening that relationship, and all the talks and the texting afterwards, like, oh man, that was a great play, but I almost had you, da da da, you know what I mean? And which leads to deeper discussions. Oh, dude, I'm struggling. You know what I mean? Can we talk? Whatever. So so yeah, um, I guess that I guess that's a perfect segue into the motto of the channel. The channel is and the motto is trust Jesus, grow daily, and enjoy games. And you've been watching Dusty and Dice. Thank you for listening to me kind of ramble on and give some tips and tricks, even though I'm new to this. And and if you found any of this helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. All that YouTube jazz that people say. That helps out the channel. It really does. And I think it does, at least. Pretty sure the algorithm is based on some number somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too good at this YouTube stuff. I thought I had a handle on it for a while, and I obviously don't. But anyway, all that aside, um, y'all take care. Take care of each other, okay? And have a blessed day. Have a blessed night wherever you are. And roll a 10. Eh, could be worse, right? Hey, y'all take care. Peace.